Hey guys, MC Mura here, and as you know, Ed is the latest DLC character to be added to Street Fighter 6, and he is a returning character from Street Fighter 5. But if there's one thing that you probably heard if you haven't played 5 and you only started with 6 and you're not really familiar with Ed, is that Ed is now totally different to how he was in 5, and that is true. Right? Now, the one thing about Ed in this game is that he does have a lot of his special moves and a lot of his moves in general from 5, right? He still got the fireball and it's a 2-barter, this is still the same. He still got his Psycho Knuckle, that is still the same. He still got the Psycho Upper, although technically it's pretty different here, but it's still his quote-unquote Psycho Upper, right? And he got the Snatcher, which used to be like his V-skill. So on paper, it seems like it should be somewhat familiar to how he was in the previous game, except not really. Now on the other hand, we got a returning character like Blanka, and Blanka is Blanka, right? He still got the rainbow ball, he still got the regular ball, the electricity. Yes, it's not a mash, it's an input now, but he still got that. Blanka, they brought back everything and then added the Blanka Shan. So they brought back the build, everything you know about Blanka, but added a little bit to it. So here we got the original Ed, right? The one from Street Fighter 5. And like I was saying, a lot of his moves are still actually kind of intact, right? He still got the 2-parter fireball, like I said, the Psycho Knuckle, and the uppercut. So it seems like on paper, it shouldn't be that different. But in actuality, like I said, he is. And when you bring back a character, or when we're talking about a character in a game like Street Fighter 5 Ed, and we made the decision to bring back Ed, I feel like we need to take a look at what are the character concepts, right? What are the attributes of Ed? What makes Ed Ed, right? And for me, Ed was unique for two main reasons. The first one is the way his EX special moves work, because in many ways, Ed had, I guess, like an Injustice or like a Mortal Kombat 10 meter burn style moves, right? And what I mean by that is his EX moves, you kind of had to do them after the fact. So for example, this is the regular fireball, right? If I press forward and 2 punches, he gets Psycho Upper, but there is no like OD first part of his fireball. You do the fist, and then you press the EX version, and you get it, right? This is his rising kick and then the follow-up. The EX here is on the second hit, right? So what I'm trying to say is, for these type of moves, and Ed in general, the way he worked is that you had to meter burn your special. You do the special first, right? And then you do like the EX addition to it, right? You're tacking on an extra property after the fact, right? It's not like the typical Armika here where like this is a straight up EX beach, right? Or like this is straight up EX command grab. He does have that, he does have the EX upper, but this is the only move where it functions this way, and that is because it's his invincible reversal, right? So this to me was one of the main things that made Ed very different in Street Fighter 5 compared to any of the other characters. This is one of his defining characteristics. Now, another thing is obviously like the way his specials work, because he didn't have any motion inputs. Now, I understand in Street Fighter 6, they wanted to kinda move that into the modern controls and update him, and I got no issues with that. I think that's totally fine, but I do find it puzzling that they kept his balancing, especially like on the uppercut, the EX upper and all of that. I hear in this game it was really slow due to the fact that it had an easy input. In Street Fighter 6, they kept the slowness part of it, but they now have a DP motion. But I think that's fine. That doesn't bother me that much. I think the way his OD moves worked is what was really unique about him. But changing characters drastically, like Ed's not the first one. So here we got two characters that also received massive overhauls. I'm gonna show you the Street Fighter 4 versions later, but trust me, Bison and Bison, these guys, Capcom went ham on them. Now, Bison, well, as you know, she had the whip. Bison kinda turned into a Dhalsim style character. She had very long ranging moves, very powerful ground game, a ton of damage. This character was sick, right? They gave her this whip stance and you can feint it and you can cancel out of it. She has the standing medium kick, one that was special cancelable, which was very rare for Street Fighter V, right? Poison was a long-range zoner that did immense damage, right? And she had this move as an overhead. The OD version was really fast, really good. Bison, on the other hand, was a little bit different, right? Here in this game, they made him very slow. He typically, like, you would use his moves, whether you're talking about specials or normal, as your main movement technique, right? He got really different dash. His dash was like a teleport. He would vanish for a little bit and you could actually hit him during that. So that was really cool, but his walk speed was really slow. He had this amazing poke, and Bison was the blast on block machine, right? Bison was that character that would keep you blocking for days because everything he did was blast. Like this was blast, Psycho Blast was blast, he had like EX Scissors that was blast, he had the Head Stomp, he had the Devil Reverse, the Knee of Justice. Yeah, Bison was kind of ridiculous, right? This was a very, very strong character at pressing the opponent. His neutral, because of his walk speed, was a little bit awkward, but yeah, the main character archetype is that he's slow, he's heavy, but he's very scary once he gets in, and once he traps you, he was a menace. Like once you're in the Psycho Axe range, you totally had to respect this character. We got the Street Fighter 4 versions of Poison and Bison, right? And these two characters, varying degrees of redesign, right? If you notice here, Poison, well, she's carrying a different weapon. She doesn't even carry a whip anymore. And check this out, she got fireballs in this game. She got a Rekka in this game, right? Kind of like a Jamie Rekka, if you're just familiar with Street Fighter 6. Obviously, Fei Long is what made the term Rekka. Anyways, so she got a 3-barter special move. She got an uppercut. Her normals are totally different, right? Like all of the punch normals are completely different. The kick normal, I will say only the standing medium kick is recognizable, right? And the trait, remember the unique trait of this being special cancelable, which is actually really big. Yes, this was a character that was also about trapping the opponent, but this one was much more of a set play character because you would knock them down, you would throw out that really slow heavy fireball, and then start mixing it up from there, right? Typically, like it works something like this. You go for the knockdown, heavy fireball, and this traps them, and then you can go for throws or go for any sort of pressure. She does have the Love Me Tender, and this is the only returning special move, but in this game it had a follow-up that would hard knock down, so then you'll be able to follow on with your pressure, right? So this character got completely changed. You can call the Poison from Street Fighter 6 Amy, I don't know, and I would believe you that she's not really the same character. Bison is kind of in the same boat as well, because check this out, this guy, he got the moves. In this game, he's actually really fast, right? He got the standing medium kick, this is a returning normal, this is also on 5. Heavy kick, this was a wall, right? He got the sweep, right? And his crouching medium kick. So a lot of his normals are back, but the character play style here was totally different. In Street Fighter 4, Bison was more of a Chun-Li or Vega style character, a really fast footsies character that would really annoy you with pokes, and obviously he got the tackle moves with his knee press. Notice here, it actually knocks down. So this guy, kind of like Ed, right? The same character, he got a lot of the same moves, but the character concept is completely different. Like how the character is supposed to play is completely different. And this brings us back to Ed, right? Because like I said, happened before a lot of times in the previous Street Fighter games, but for Street Fighter 6, this is actually the first time we had this, because if we go back to the character select screen, you will notice something very interesting, right? So there's a lot of returning characters in this game. We got, for example, Judy, and Judy is an updated version of Street Fighter 5. They brought back a lot of her traits from Street Fighter 5, but added back some of the Street Fighter 4 stuff, so the DNA is there. DJ is back as well. He is very different, got a makeover, but the core of like the Guile Sonic Boom flash kick that he was known for is still there. Cammy is really similar to her previous iterations. Guile, Blanca, Honda, Ryu, Ken. Chun-Li, I will say, is the character that got the most dramatic makeover, but still the core concept, and you got to see the poison mode for Chun-Li. But anyways, the core of Chun-Li is still there, right? Like the core of what makes Chun-Li Chun-Li is still there. Zangief, very similar to Street Fighter V, but some additions. And Dhalsim, obviously, right? What was interesting to me about this game is when Capcom wanted to change the gameplay of a returning character, they would put it in the form of a new character, right? For example, Aki, right? You can tell that Capcom wanted another go at the poison mechanic, and they figured, why not add Aki, right? If we're gonna bring it back and we're gonna change Fang so dramatically, and Fang didn't really work that well with fans, let's try it with a new character. They wanted the win stock system, and they wanted to alter the T-Hawk playstyle a little bit, and they brought back Hugo. They wanted back the twins, but the twins were almost notoriously broken, and I figured they wanted to play around a little bit here, play around with their toolkits, make him have like a power-up type moves, and they brought back Jamie, right, which is a new character. Kimberly with Bushinryu. Manon, she does draw a lot of similarities to many of the older characters like Abel, like Laura. So you can tell that in Street Fighter 6, Capcom seemed to add new characters whenever they wanna redo an idea. Ed, I feel like, is the first character in this game, returning character, that is so drastically different. Now, there is a lot of talk, rumors these days about leaks, about returning characters, leaks lists going all around. Who knows if they're right or wrong, but I find it fascinating, to be honest. And me personally, if I talk about my own personal opinion, if we're gonna bring back characters, I feel like it's better to bring them back and add stuff to them instead of completely changing them, because I do feel like this kind of alienates the fan base a little bit. Like, I know that there are probably a lot of Ed players that played him in Street Fighter V and they can't really gel with this version. Maybe somehow someone out there, their favorite character is this guy, and they are unable to play the Street Fighter 6 version of Ed. I don't know. What are your thoughts? Do you like it when the returning characters are faithful, or like they are small adjustment and adding stuff to them, or do you like complete redesigns? I would love to hear your thoughts about this whole topic in the comment section below. Do you think it's better to just add a new character with the same idea, kind of like Aki, and then change how the character function, how the toolkit really worked to compensate? Which approach do you think is better? I'll be leaving a link to the Patreon, Discord, Twitter, and Twitch pages in the description. Thank you so much for watching, and stay safe.